Hi, Conduit family. Welcome back to the weekly. This week, we've got 2 reminder announcements for you and then 1 big, exciting announcement. So why don't you follow me outside and we'll talk about those first 2 reminder announcements. Okay, so 2 reminders, right? So the first one is that it's not too late to sign up for our VBS, right? Starting June 27th, that Monday, for a whole week, we're going to be having fun with kids and talking with them about Jesus. And I mean, there's nothing more important we could be talking about with kids from this neighborhood at Fletcher Elementary than Jesus and what he means for them in their lives. So if you want to have a part to play in that, you can still sign up on our website at conduitministries.com. The second thing that I want to remind you about is the reason why I'm outside right now is because we're not going to be having Sunday services inside there like we normally do on Sunday, but we're going to be having it out here. We're going to have a big tent up, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We've done tent services before in the past, and they're always a fantastic time. So, but this isn't just going to be a tent service. We're going to put up the tent, but we're also going to put up a baptismal, and we're going to baptize some people. We're going to celebrate what Jesus is doing in their lives and how he is making a significant change in their life and celebrate the gospel. So we're going to fill that big tub full of water, and we're going to dunk some people, and we're going to celebrate what Jesus is doing. And we hope that you come out here and celebrate with us. Just a friendly reminder that we will not be bringing the pews outside. So if you want something to sit on that isn't the grass, I suggest that you bring a blanket or a chair or something like that. Sometimes we can be a little long-winded when we're preaching. So, we'll do our best, but you don't want to be sitting on the grass that whole time. The last thing that I have is an exciting and important announcement. At Conduit, we want to value our leaders. We want to take care of our pastors, and we want to honor especially our senior pastor. And so with that in mind, we are giving and announcing today that Pastor Cameron is going to be taking a sabbatical. And you might be like, what's a sabbatical? What does that mean? What is all of that? Me and Cameron are going to sit down and we're going to have a discussion about what a sabbatical is, what it's going to look like for him to take one here at Conduit. And you're going to get to sit in and listen on that conversation. So here that is. So, Cameron.
Yes.
You're going to take a sabbatical.
I am going to take a
sabbatical. You're going to take a sabbatical. So, That's a word that people don't use very often. So, what is a sabbatical?
Yeah. So, in some businesses or jobs, sabbaticals are kind of normal. And ministry or pastoral ministry is one of those that it is normal. And usually, every kind of church is different, but usually every 5 to 7 years, pastors get the opportunity to take a period of extended rest.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it can be an extended period of time for a working sabbatical, like they're studying, getting a master's or a doctorate or something like that. But in most cases, a sabbatical is an extended period of rest. And in our case, my sabbatical is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 to 16 weeks long. And it's going to start right in the middle of July.
Okay. So, what are you going to do? What are the plans that you've made for 12 to 16 weeks? What does one do?
Right. Because it kind of sounds like it could be a lot of time.
Yeah. There's that thing where you go on vacation and maybe don't even always feel that rested on a vacation.
Right. It takes 3 or 4 days to get relaxed on a vacation, and then you got to travel home. And so.
Right.
So we're, as a family, intending to do a few things. I see my sabbatical as not just something that I'm experiencing, but something that my family is experiencing as well. And so we're going to have a little block of time there at the beginning of the sabbatical to just kind of do some deep rest,
mm-hmm.
some physical rest, some soul level rest, some mental rest. We're just kind of detoxing from the chaos of a very busy and packed schedule all the time. And then we had a vacation already planned for the end of July. So we're going to keep that vacation. We're going to go camping for a week, and then we're going to come home for a few weeks. And then what we really wanted to do is be able to spend some very focused time together as a family, just reconnecting with each one of our kids and reconnecting with my wife, and having a chance for us as a family to engage in some experiences and some fun things that, just because of the schedule of ministry and the nature of our family, we've really never been able to do before. So we're going to go on a beach vacation for 7 to 10 days, and we might hit up Washington, D.C. and kind of like a little capital district tour. And the kids have decided that they would like to spend the day doing the chocolate tour at Hershey Park. And so
Me too.
so we're going to do that as well. And then for a significant portion of September is just going to be a opportunity for me to do some deep, what I'll just call some deep work with the Lord, some deep soul work, where I'm really giving myself to hearing the Lord undistracted by kind of like the normal schedule that I have to keep, and the normal things that I have to that I give myself to. And so be spending some time in that. I'm getting some taking part in 2 counseling intensives with a ministry that is near and dear to my heart and has been working with me for quite a few years now, named Crosspoint Ministry, and they're in Louisville, Kentucky. And so they're going to be helping me just with some counseling resources during that time as well. I hope to do some reading. I hope to do a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
I hope to do a lot of just deep soul rest and reconnection with my family, and then maybe mix in some things that are just plain fun. But we'll see how that goes.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
So what would you say is, like, you're going to take these, this extended rest to kind of focus on your family, focus on yourself, and then you're going to come back. What is like your hope for what you're going to be able to come back with after kind of taking a rest?
Yeah. So, my desire and my heart is to lead at Conduit long term, to serve at Conduit long term, to be, to really pour into generations here. And my hope and my prayer, and what I'm asking people to pray for us for, is that I would come back not a brand new person. I'm gonna still be the same person and the same, pastor and all of that, but that I would come back with a renewed or refreshed sense of calling, sense of like understanding who God has called me to be as a pastor, but almost more importantly than that, like who God has called me to be, like as His son, and who God has called me to be as a husband to my wife and a father to my children. And that the work that Jesus does in me during that time, that I can bring that back and allow the testimony of what God was doing in me and has done in me to be a blessing to the people that I serve, my staff and the congregation here and the community as a whole. So my hope is that I will come back with a renewed sense of who God has called me to be and who God has created me to be, but also a new sense of like, okay, what is the next season of ministry here at Conduit? We've gone through a season, and so now what is the next step? What is the next season? I'm really going to be asking God to speak to me about that towards the end of my sabbatical. But okay, Lord, now what is the next season for my life as a pastor?
Yeah. As you're like saying all of that, like it sounds not even all that dissimilar to practice Jesus had of consistently retreating and then coming back into ministry and re-engaging, but just a little bit more of a intensive rowing period. You're not climbing a mountain.
I'm not climbing a mountain. I'm not taking a boat across the big sea, although maybe that would be a possibility on vacation. But no, it's not dissimilar at all to Jesus' regular pattern or rhythm of serving in ministry and kind of in an intense way, and then needing some breakaway space, even from his closest disciples,
Right.
to reconnect with the Father in prayer, in solitude, in meditation. So yeah, this is kind of like a big version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that mean then? Like what can people expect? Like when's this happening?
Sure.
Like you're not gonna are you going to be here? Like are you gonna be sitting in the pew like you normally do? Like what does that look like for everybody? Just yeah.
So the nuts and bolts of it are really pretty simple. Like what it looks like for here is that, well, I guess just to say, my last Sunday preaching will be July 10th.
Okay.
Right. And then I will be I'm going to kind of close up some responsibilities that I have here in the office and another pastoral responsibilities that week. And then I'll be in worship on July 17th, but you'll be preaching that Sunday. And that'll be just kind of a day for me to, give everyone a hug and tell them I love them. And, God willing, be asking the congregation to pray for us and pray over me on that day. And then we'll be gone from worship. At least I'll be gone from worship up until or sometime in October. The exact Sunday's not been completely decided yet. For about a 12-week absence from worship. Now, my kids are still going to get dropped off for Conduit kids, but my wife, we want to maintain that community that they have. It's really important to us. But Sherry and I have asked the local pastor if it would be okay if we came and worshiped there during our sabbatical, and if he would be my pastor, if he would be our pastor during this time, because I've want an opportunity to be pastored by someone else.
Right.
So no, we won't be worshiping here during that time, and my anticipation, one of the things that makes this even a possibility is that we have just a tremendous slate of leaders here, yourself obviously included, and I've supreme confidence in both your gifting and your ability and also your willingness to love and pastor and lead the people here and the staff here, and while I'm on that temporary break, and then the rest of the staff doing their jobs and serving in ministry, and the leadership team and the lay leaders and the official leaders and unofficial leaders, just carrying our values and our mission and our vision, continuing that on in the community while I'm gone, and that's how it should be. And that's what we want it. That's what we want it to be. Like the church doesn't rise and fall on Cameron Leinhardt being here. The church is about Jesus. The church is about the mission of God in the world. And, a short little break or hiatus for me, ministry to, get refreshed and get just kind of like recast some vision in my own heart. I think it's been a great thing for the church, a great thing for the staff, a great thing for everyone. And so I'm seeing this as a really positive thing, and really confident going into this. It's going to be a blessing to everyone.
I think I am too. I'm excited about it. I think it's really awesome that we're at a place as a church and a church body where we're able to actually give this to you, right?
Yes.
There are a lot of churches that actually don't or not able to, for one reason or another, allow their pastors to go on sabbaticals. And so I think it's a really awesome. It's great that we're part of a church that's able to do it.
I agree. It's extraordinarily. I have not quite yet found the words. It's been extraordinarily humbling to receive this gift from the church here, and at times been emotionally and mentally and spiritually difficult to receive it. To just receive. And but I'm hopeful that God will give me the words that are necessary at the right time to express just my deep sense of gratefulness and thankfulness at this opportunity that the church is affording, not just me, but my family as a whole.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for you. I hope that you have some adventures and do some fun things while you're on sabbatical.
Yeah. Thank you.
So thanks for taking a couple minutes and like explaining all of that and having a conversation with me, Cameron. But we love you. I'm happy that you're my senior pastor, and we love you, and we're happy to. I'm excited, and I'm sure the rest of the Conduit family is excited to see what this little sabbatical and season will be for you. And just, yeah.
Thank you. I love you too, man.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this week, weekly. Thanks for tuning in and catching up about what's going on here at Conduit. We want this to be a meaningful and impactful way for us to continue to communicate what's important and what's going on here at Conduit. And you can help us out by letting other people know about the video, about the weekly, encouraging them to check it out. It's still new. Not everybody knows about it yet. And that's it. If you see Pastor Cameron, let's just all encourage and celebrate him and just the opportunity that he does have to take this sabbatical in this coming season. All right, with all that out of the way, I hope you have a good rest of your week. I hope to see you this Sunday outside next to the baptismal. Have a good rest of the week, Conduit.